Have you ever been around someone who seems friendly, smiles, says the right things, but something inside you feels constricted and doesn't allow you to relax, and an inner voice whispers, "Something's not right here"? Sometimes it's a very subtle feeling. Something in the look, in the intonation, in the pauses between words speaks of hidden animosity, even if outwardly the person behaves like a friend. Carl Jung, one of the greatest psychologists of the 20th century, introduced the term shadow in his works. This is the part of us that we don't want to acknowledge. We suppress it, but it still finds a way out. In our attitude towards others, in our emotions, we may say one thing, but what we really feel will always seep out, sometimes in gestures, sometimes in intonations that another person can catch. Today I will tell you about 8 subtle but accurate signs by which you can understand that someone near you is actually experiencing hostile feelings towards you, even if he himself claims to love and care for you. Pay particular attention to the 8th sign. It is the most insidious and can completely change your perception of the people around you. So the first sign is contempt disguised as irony. Hostility often does not manifest directly. Some people prefer to express it through sarcastic remarks, biting irony, or taunts. They ridicule things that are important to you or that are particularly painful for you. But as soon as you ask them to take this into account, they immediately answer, "I was just kidding. Don't be so sensitive, you have no sense of humor." This is especially insidious behavior. It makes you feel awkward, while the joker maintains the face of a good-natured guy. But in reality, constant irony on certain topics is a clear sign of hidden contempt and even aggression. Carl Jung said that our shadow is projected onto others, subtly and often unconsciously. When someone uses irony to attack you, they are actually revealing what they cannot accept in themselves. The second sign is secret competition. Some people can't accept your success. Every one of your victories they will immediately accompany with an attempt to belittle it, to shift attention to themselves. If you share good news, they answer, "Well, I did that too. Oh, I've known that for a long time." This hidden competition often arises due to deep complexes. Jung argued that the projection of the shadow makes people see in others those qualities that they cannot develop in themselves. Those who feel inferior try to belittle you so as not to face their own insecurity. If someone secretly envies you, they will not be able to hide their irritation. This manifests itself in a cold or detached reaction, in sarcasm and passive aggression. Their comments seem like a joke, but behind them lies irritation and resentment. They try to devalue your success, reduce it to chance or insignificance so as not to recognize your superiority. Instead of rejoicing for you, they try to surpass you. Sometimes they start avoiding you when you're doing well. They don't support conversations about your successes and feel uncomfortable next to you because your success reminds them of their own failures. Remember, those who really care about you will be proud of your achievements. They will be there to support and rejoice in your successes. The third sign is subtle sabotage. If someone feels threatened by your success or growth, they may begin to secretly sabotage processes that are important to you. This is not always obvious and sometimes manifests itself in small mistakes, distorted information, or incorrect advice, which prevent you from achieving your goals. A friend who forgets to share important information, a family member who accidentally misses an important moment, a colleague who mistakenly complicates your task. At first glance, these may just be coincidences. But if such errors regularly occur at critical moments, it is worth considering. Is it really a coincidence? Jung explained that if a person cannot accept their failures, they unconsciously project their frustration onto others, preventing them from moving forward so as not to feel like a loser themselves. The fourth sign is control under the guise of care. Some people try to control your life, masking it as care and a desire to help. They say they want the best for you, but in reality, their motives are completely different. They criticize your decisions, making you doubt your own adequacy. They undermine your confidence while pretending to give good advice. They question your ability to make decisions, forcing you to depend on their opinion. Why are they doing this? Carl Jung explained that the need for control stems from a fear of inner chaos. When a person cannot cope with their emotions, they try to control the lives of others in order to avoid facing their own inner turmoil. Those who try to control you are actually afraid of losing control over themselves. Control under the guise of care is a manipulation that destroys your independence and self-confidence. Remember, true care does not make you dependent, but on the contrary, gives you the strength to go your own way. Those who truly love you will not try to control your life. You are the master of your destiny. Don't let anyone take that power away from you. The fifth sign is gossip and criticism. If a person has negative feelings towards you, they rarely tell you to your face. Instead, they will spread gossip, rumors, criticize you behind your back, trying to undermine your authority and spoil your life. Why do people gossip? They envy you. Your success reminds them of their own failures. They feel weak and try to belittle you to feel better. They are afraid of you and try to ruin your reputation before you become even stronger. Jung argued that those who spread negativity about others are actually projecting their own weaknesses. How to protect yourself from gossips and criticism? Do not react emotionally. Gossips feed on your reaction. If you get angry, make excuses, or attack in response, they get pleasure. The best way is to remain calm. Let your actions speak for you. Do not participate in gossip. If someone is constantly talking badly about others, sooner or later they will start talking badly about you. Remember, whoever brings you gossip will surely take your words to others. Do not let unkind words affect your self-esteem. If you are being discussed, it means that you are significant. Gossip and criticism are the tools of weak people who cannot manifest openly. True friends talk with you, not about you. Strong people discuss ideas, not others. The sixth sign is feigned goodwill. Those who hide their dissatisfaction often mask it under false concern. At first glance, they seem benevolent, say the right words, but you feel that their words and actions lack sincerity. Believe me, it doesn't just seem that way to you. When you need help, they minimize your problem, make excuses, or come up with excuses not to support you. But when you achieve success, their enthusiasm seems contrived, or it is not there at all. Why is this happening? Jung spoke of ego dissociation when a person is emotionally distant from others. This can manifest itself in coldness, an inability to rejoice in the successes of others, and a subconscious desire to devalue the achievements of others. A person cannot come to terms with their own failures, so your success irritates them. Envy remains hidden because such people do not admit it even to themselves. Someone who is sincerely happy for you will never make your success insignificant. But someone who hides envy or contempt will always find a way to devalue your victory. The seventh sign is nonverbal cues. Negative emotions always find a way out in body language, even if a person tries to hide them. We may not hear angry words or notice open aggression, but the body always betrays true feelings. As Jung said, the body and the unconscious never lie. Human intuition is a powerful tool. If something seems strange, even if a person behaves outwardly friendly, do not ignore your feelings. Trust your intuition. Observe the person's behavior in different situations. If a person is sincerely happy for you, it is always visible. If they are irritated by your successes but try to hide it, their gestures will betray them. The eighth sign is marginality and sleeping consciousness. These people are in a deep illusion, a so-called sleep, where everyone is for themselves and someone else's success is perceived as a threat. Their consciousness is close to animalistic. Their perception of the world is strictly intellectual. Their feelings are suppressed, and destructive programs of the false ego multiply in their subconscious. Their body is filled with tension. Such people do not understand that aggression, envy, and manipulation will return to them in a much greater size. They do not realize that by framing you, they are digging pits for themselves. Each of your achievements causes them irritation, but instead of admitting it, they try to overshadow your success, resorting to gossip, criticism, and vile actions. The more such people there are in your environment, the more difficult it is for you to maintain your awareness and sensual perception of the world. The surrounding atmosphere of fear and negative emotions has a heavy impact on your condition, and it becomes increasingly difficult for you to develop further and experience harmony in your life. How to cope with a hostile environment and continue to develop successfully? First, limit or adjust contact with those who pretend to be a friend. Talk openly, dot the I's, and act based on the real situation. You decide whether to continue the relationship with this person. Second, develop your awareness and sensual perception. This should become your way of life. Be an example of how to live peacefully and happily. Act honestly and openly, and people will subconsciously begin to reflect this in their behavior. If changes do not occur for a long time, this is a signal that your work on yourself requires additional effort. Look for ways to raise your level of consciousness using advanced self-development techniques. Set high goals and move towards them. Third, remember, people do bad things not from a good life. Try to understand your detractors, find out what kind of help they need. We are all people, and everyone has their difficulties in life. Perhaps helping to solve their problems will improve your relationship and even inspire them to work on their development as well. Fourth, do not expect or demand anything from others, except that they cannot act differently yet. To begin to live freely and kindly, many of us need to work through our fears, forgive the cruelty and injustice that we have encountered in the past, be merciful. Fifth, be the cause of what happens to you. Create an atmosphere of warmth and security around yourself. When people feel acceptance, they begin to open their hearts and behave friendly. Then, instead of envy and gossip, they will send you gratitude and support. Remember, your success and joy should not depend on someone else's approval. Be the creator of your reality, awaken yourself, and awaken the world around you. You deserve people who see your value, support you, and help you on your way to fulfillment. Find people who match your level and aspirations, or create them around you yourself.